Ronan, you're one of the founders of Cross.
Yes.
And you also do the hard yards and the bike. You might tell us a bit how it all came about.
Well, it came about through John Reynolds from obviously John and myself married to sisters, and listening to the work he was doing in Trinity and how they were struggling to fund pieces of equipment. So myself and Conor Heaton decided to do a couple of events to raise money to buy at the time a gene scanning machine, which we did for Trinity College and St James's. Paul kindly decided to step into the breach and become the patron. Paul came up with the idea to do the cycle one night over dinner in my sister's house, but it's a fantastic event and Paul and his brothers have really done a great job, and Cross forever in gratitude to them for the work they've done.
Well, Cross was set up as a charity by two businessmen, Conor Heaton and Ronan Murphy, and the purpose was to support cancer research. Increasingly, the research is connecting with the patient in a much more natural, much more expedient sort of way. And our ambition here, and my personal ambition throughout my career, is to really integrate medicine and science.
David, you've been here for the past 4 years. What do you get out of Cycle yourself personally?
Well, I suppose for one, it's a really good cause, helping my brother out as well. He's just after arriving here, I think, from a swim. It's brilliant fun. I mean, I think the camaraderie and the crack around the cycle is great fun. And it's a brilliant experience, way to discover the country and see the countryside. And I just thoroughly enjoy it. And this is the 5th year of it now. I think anything we can do to help raise funds to promote research and help research is brilliant.
What they are doing is amazing, it's charitable, and they've been unbelievably great hosts to us Americans.
Yep, great guys. Fantastic organization that they're raising money for. Cancer research, fantastic.
What did she say that was so... Come out.
So they should know.
Was she crying? Were you crying?
We'll tell you in a
she's
Joe,
crying.
we'll tell you in a second.
Come
We'll
here,
tell
come
you
here.
in a second, okay?
Okay.
Okay,
You mind
so
yourself then.
come here. So the reason this is so touching to all of us is that I have lung cancer, and we really appreciate these guys raising funds for research.
For girls like her.
Yep. Hopefully
We
they
find a
can-
cure. We
yeah,
find a cure.
Hopefully they can find something that helps me.
This is amazing.
There you go.
This is a good time. Cheers. Wait, she ran a full marathon. Ran it. Came home, went to the doctor and found out she had cancer.
Oh my God.
She then went in to have some cancer removed. And she had her lung removed. This
now
woman
just
is a fighter.
It's great to have the rugby legends here today at All Care Pharmacy in Tralee. Cancer is affecting everyone. We see it here every day in our community pharmacy, so it's a really worthy cause and we're delighted to be part of it today.
Oh, Jesus, it hurts. It hurts.
That's the beauty of it, is you sort of cycle along, have a chat with someone, next thing you know someone else pulls up and it's just like a roller coaster of chat. So it's good. It's actually been enjoyable because I haven't ridden in a peloton really much at all, so it was quite nice to do that.
I suppose hobby-wise I do triathlons, bikes, you name it. Midlife crisis has started, and away from that,
As you can see by the bike he's riding,
you can see
it's a friendly cycle. Designed at NASA.
he didn't realise I can't cycle for toffee. I do a little bit with the punditry and the commentary side of rugby, and then family business and other business interests. So I'm a juggler.
And Mike, what are you up to?
Exactly the same, ditto. What isn't he up to?
Yeah. Try and get involved in as many things as you can.
Yeah, I think so. It seems to be working very well. As I said, the sun has come out and we have the wind behind us all the way. So, everyone's just really, really enjoying it, and camaraderie is top notch.
Feeling the effects of 165 kilometres yesterday, Ferd. It was my third time on a bike, and I'm really, really struggling. Wally was very, inefficient with the truth about this cycle. It's an awful lot tougher.
You're flying. You're getting stronger every day, though.
Both my calves are cramping up.
The research that goes on basically goes from a kind of biomedical kind of basic translational research angle, looking at the kind of mechanisms that are driving cancer in different types of cancers, and then that's translated into clinical research with the patients. So there's a number of big kind of studies going on at the moment.
So a growing tumour relies on blood vessels to provide it with nutrients and oxygen. However, as a tumour gets bigger, what often happens is the centre of the tumour can't properly access that blood supply. And when this happens, the oxygen levels in the cancer cells at the centre of the tumour often drop to dramatically low levels, and we call this hypoxia. And when hypoxia occurs, the cancer cells, the biology of the cancer cells changes, and they become much more aggressive. And they also become resistant to treatments such as chemotherapy and radiation therapy, and are therefore much harder to treat. This equipment will allow us to grow cancer cells and tissues in the lab at oxygen levels which mimic the environment within a patient's tumour. And really importantly, this will allow us to test our novel drugs to see if we can specifically target these aggressive cancer cells. And this would help to improve the treatments for patients, and also would help to improve survival for cancer patients.
Do you know exactly where we're going, Mike?
That clump of trees over there, that's where we're headed. Is that right?
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to try. But I'm too small.
Can we direct them so we don't end up in France?
We're going for the other side of that here.
On the right?
On the left.
On the left, okay. Oui, j'adore l'Irlande. C'est très joli.
Get that on camera that he's giving up, he's quitting. Woo!
Good afternoon, are you all right? Yeah. Right. We are here today for breast cancer research, which is a very, very important thing for most people who've been affected one way or another by cancer. And we are cycling along with about 150 people the whole way up the west coast to Westport. I'm going to ask you 5 questions. Are you doing homework tonight? Here we go.
How much can you bench press?
Sorry?
How much can you bench press?
I could bench press share.
It's the 97 It's the 97 Yeah!
With StatSports, we're doing the GPS. A few of the guys are wearing the GPS units. I'm one of them. So we're going to be taking a bit of the data from the cycle in terms of max efforts and speed and accelerations, all those kind of things.
Gordon, how are you feeling today? You weren't in great shape yesterday.
A lot better today, actually, a lot better today. I didn't think that they made flat whites in County Clare, but they do.
it's wet, it's drizzly. It's really warm as well though, because it means then you're all hot and sweaty as well as getting wet outside. But it's grand. Hopefully it's going to dry up a bit.
I believe it's supposed to be brightening up, so we're going to see the beautiful west coast of Ireland at one point.
Happy to be stopped, that's for sure. It was beautiful along the coast here and getting into Roundstone. But yeah, the end can't come quick enough for today. There's only about 10k left, is it?
I now understand what pull like a dog means. It's fabulous. Great weather, great crack, super organisation. It's great charity, so couldn't be better. Couldn't think of a better thing to be doing today.
Oh, it's stunning, and the welcomes that we've received have been outstanding. The food, the hospitality, the greetings, the cheers. It's really been giving us the energy to take us to the next leg. It's wonderful.
Now lads, as we know, we were wearing the StatSports Viper pods during the cycle, so we've had a bit of a chance to analyse some of the data, so we'll go have a look. So obviously the first thing when we're looking at any heart rate data is to develop our understanding of max heart rate, because then that makes everything relative to each person. So the first thing we did here was just create a max heart rate graph just to see who's got the highest max heart rate. So obviously the younger you are, the higher your max heart rate is, and the older you are, the lower your max heart rate is.
So, Craig, I suppose what's not so important is your heart rate. It's what your heart rate is in relation to your max heart rate.
Absolutely, yeah, correct, yeah. So again, just a handy little thing for us to start off from, okay? So obviously Jessie here, she's the youngest who is wearing a heart rate band with our pod. She's got the highest max heart rate of around 200 beats per minute, as opposed to Jer, who's down here at about 170 or so, okay? So that's our first step in any of our analysis, is just to develop that top end stuff. So obviously the most important question, and the one you've wanted to ask since we met, is who's the fitter out of the two of you? So Paul, starting there with you, okay, so we see that you're in quite a good space here, lots of time in zone 2, 3 and 4. Again, to be expected, pretty nice
Flat
profile.
day, I think, yeah,
Flat day, yeah, again, not working super hard, but certainly not sitting at home doing nothing as well, okay? So again, pretty nice looking graph there. David, we'll move on to you, and we'll see that this graph does shift over to the left here. Okay, so I'm sorry to say, but he's probably still a little fitter than you.
He was drafting a lot that day, I do remember that.
Yeah.
He didn't take his turn at the front of the peloton at all.
There's good aerodynamics behind you, Paulie, that's all.
Craig, thanks to you and everyone at StatSports for getting us all this data. We have to try and decipher what it actually means, and we're going to bring this down to Professor John Reynolds and his people, and how that all relates to your health and the fight against cancer.
A huge amount of people who get cancer, it's through no fault of their own. It's not necessarily to do with lifestyle, other than maybe smoking in particular. But having said that, adopting a really positive lifestyle approach if somebody has cancer, and then if after treatment for cancer in survivorship, is very positive. And the great outdoors then is obviously wonderful, and the cycle and the exercise, because I mean that is so relevant to good health.
I haven't cycled in about pretty much this summer. A friend of mine knows Paul Wallace pretty well. He said I need to do something before we get too old and too fat, and suggested this, and it was a great charity, so we signed up. I signed up last week. Much better than I thought. Tough few days, but getting a bit stronger as the week goes on, which is fantastic. But I am last.
to all of you that the one who were in front of me, I don't like you anymore. You know?
Every day, you know, it's like we discover new things, and I'm pretty sure that even some Irish people, you know, didn't see, you know, all these beauties, you know, all around us. So I'm, you know, I will come back definitely because it's worth it. I was happy to be selected, and you need to find the time, although, you know, to do that kind of trips. But really, I'm really happy, you know, to have been part of that and for a good cause, you know, for with cancer research and with Unifarm, we had to stop in every pharmacy. So I was a bit suspicious with the drug test with the Irish players. It was very nice on the cycling, but I had to sleep with Mick Galway, and to be honest, you know, that was really, really hard.
As an organisation, we're involved in supporting healthcare professionals look after the needs of patients. So this is an absolutely great thing to do because it's all about helping people when they're sick, but also keeping them well. So the cycle absolutely fits perfectly with what we're trying to do as an organisation. So that's why we're delighted to be the title sponsor for this great event.
So this year, a scanning electron microscope that's called a FAST scanner and can look very efficiently at lots of different cancers and scan the cancers for, you know, the proteins that the genes manufacture in cancer that are a little bit different. And there's no way of doing this other than through scanning, but the labor of scanning and the efficiency and speed of it greatly enhanced by this type of equipment. So that would be target number one. There's another target as well. The great thing about, you know, the genome was uncoded, if you like, completely over 10 years now, but how do you apply that towards anybody's individual cancer is something that really hasn't properly taken shape. So to be able to do the whole genome sequence, or the genes that make protein sequence, is something that we need to be able to do, and then to apply it in decision making and patient care and clinical trials.
Well, you know what? Last 2 years we had wonderful sunshine, and it was fantastic. But for me, it's nearly mystical Ireland. When you look at the dew on the mountains, through the fjords, it is absolutely spectacular. And if I drive through here on a bus, on a train, or on a bicycle, the panoramic view is just spectacular. The only problem is, spend so much time looking at it, you're going to go into the back of someone else's wheel. So we've been pretty good on that front so far. And on to Lewisburg now. What I love about coming here as well is anyone from overseas. We have Americans, Frenchmen, Welshmen, Englishmen. And the one thing they all seem to be saying is they never realise just how beautiful Ireland is. Postcards don't do it justice. Gotta see it for yourself. We've all seen the peloton and how effective it is, and you get up to speeds of 40 kilometers when you really get it going. But when you drop off, it's impossible to catch. So what always happens at different degrees and levels of cycling ability, there's going to be a couple of stragglers coming behind us. So we, and Angus here, Superman, they call him in San Francisco, we're going to come back and try and save some of these people, because when you're slogging away into the wind on your own, your energy levels just go right down. And there is no better feeling than someone just coming from behind, sitting in front of you and dragging you on. Then you get your energy levels back, and next thing you're back in the game. And then Angus and myself will rotate at the front. Okay. Okay? Thank you. Great stuff. There's a peloton ahead of us. They're only about 100 meters ahead now. So we got in, everyone's got their energy back, haven't we?
Everybody on, Paul?
Everyone's on. So we're going to get around the corner here, catch these guys, link in, bring us into Lewisburg, and we save the day.
I live in San Francisco, and I was sitting one evening watching TV, and I heard about this, and I went on TV and looked it up on YouTube, and there was the story of the 2013 cycle, and one particular part of that story really jumped out at me, and that was a gentleman called Shane O'Dwyer, and he was, unfortunately, he had lost his child the year before to cancer. And my young fella said, Dad, he knew that I was cycling. He says, you need to meet that guy and tell him that things are going to be okay. And it's been 30 years since I'd seen him, but I actually had gone to school with Shane, and I didn't recognise him at the time until I met him here. But I believe he's over here, and I think it'd be good to say a few words to him now, if possible.
Oh yeah, well, we're in a much better place right now, you know, and it was very difficult. And when you see how this cycle has developed and how we have gone, and the brand that is Cross has gone from strength to strength, this is a family. It's a family that we're after developing here, and you know, it can only grow from strength to strength.
This is it. Coming into Westmart.
Come on, Paul.
Shady, what do you reckon?
Paul, don't give up on me now. Come on, we're putting in the last 5 days. Stay with us. It's about research. It's all about research. The cycling is easy, and long may it last. I think we have enough done.
I'm done for this year.
And this is all because there's a belief out there that there is progress been made in the whole area of research, and John Reynolds and the team of Cross should take an awful lot of credit for that. Fundraising for a charity like Cross. Every family is affected by cancer. Every family. There's not a family that isn't affected by it.
For anybody out there who might be thinking about doing something like this, just do it, because obviously you'll be very relevant, raise some money for a very needy, important cause, but for your own self, it's a great week just to get out and see the amazing, amazing countryside of Ireland. And for somebody like myself who misses this country every day, it's a spectacular way to get back in and just hook up with the old people. And if you've got that passion for biking, this could not be a better journey to take once a year. So hopefully Shane, from this video of this year in 2016, will get some more new recruits here for this great, great cause.
Well, that's it. Nothing left in the tank. Though I'm looking forward to next year already. Hope you can come and join us and take up the challenge and support Cross Cancer Research.